wanted to bring you a video on the modeling industry. A lot of people have questions about this, and I think that there's a lot of misinformation out there, and so I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the different types of modeling, because people always come to me and they say, Cassandra, I have acne, I can't be a model. Hello? People say I'm too short to be a model, I'm too overweight to be a model, I'm too underweight to be a model, I'm too young to be a model, I'm too old to be a model. I hear all these excuses from people who have this passion and want to pursue this dream but just don't because they think something's stopping them. So I wanted to talk to you about if you're interested in the modeling world or if you just want to understand the way the world works in general. I wanted to tell you a little bit about the different types of modeling, because everyone thinks that you have to be like a size 0, that you have to be like 6.5 feet tall, and that you have to go to Paris or New York to be a model, which is not true. That may be for a runway model, but there are many different types of modeling that people don't know that they can get into that need all sort of different requirements and different things. So I do want to talk to you about that, run you through them really quickly here, and tell me, do you guys want like a model talk, like one-on-one? Do you want to have like a Twitter question and answer like Modeling 101? Because this video is not going to discuss like agencies, it's not going to discuss moving to a different city, it's not going to discuss like the nitty gritties. This is just types of modeling, maybe what you fit into, maybe what you might want to pursue. But tell me if you want like model talk one-on-one, or if you want like model question and answer, if you want to hear some of my modeling horror stories, because boy do I have horror stories. I also have wonderful success stories, but there are quite a few modeling horror stories out there. But for today's video, I just wanted to talk to you about the types of modeling, and I also wanted to mention a lot of these comments started like coming up after I posted the ExploreModeling.com video. As you know, ExploreModeling.com is looking for the face of E.l.f. Cosmetics. E.l.f. Cosmetics is an amazing line, and they're having the beauty of all ages. So they're looking for models who are not professional. They're looking for regular women one in their teens, their 20s, 30s, and 40s to become a model. So you don't need any prior experience. You don't need a professional portfolio. All you need is to upload a selfie to their website. And I've done 2 videos on this, which I'll link you to. I'll link you to the selfie video here if you want to learn how to take a perfect selfie, and a little bit more about uploading your selfie and entering the contest here. And then this one is a makeup tutorial. I created the look, winner's look, her makeup look, and I recreated it so that you can look like that at home. But this video also discusses the competition as well. But when I started posting about these kind of competitions with E.l.f. Cosmetics, a lot of people said, I can't do this, Cassandra, I have braces, I can't do this, I wear glasses, or I have this, or I have that. And it's not true. So I wanted to, let you know that this contest is open until the end of the month. So do it right now. Get your butt, take some selfies, upload it to ExploreModeling.com, because you could be the face of E.l.f. Cosmetics. They're looking for regular people. But on top of that, these videos like brought up a lot of questions, and I just want to tell you that no, you don't have to be a perfect thing. They're looking for, you know, something exotic. They're looking for something different, and the industry in general is always changing. So I want to just talk to you about different kinds of modeling within the industry. So the first thing is obviously, I guess, what the stereotypical model is, which is runway. And runway is definitely the hardest and the strictest to get into. When it comes to runway models, they are usually what, you know, people kind of stereotype as being super tall, super thin, having super perfect skin, usually being very young, between the ages of 14 and 20, sometimes up to 27 if they're really established. But runway models really are based out of like Paris and New York, and those are what you see on runways when you see those runway photos. Sometimes they do photo shoots for exclusive designers that you'll see in like a Dior magazine or Vogue or things like that. And the reason that that's probably the hardest to get into, because A, you need to have the strictest measurements. Actually, body modeling is different. It's like one of the hardest to get into, because you need to have the strictest measurements, and you also need experience. You need to be able to look good when you're walking. You need to be able, because you're capturing a 2-dimensional image of a 3-dimensional object that's moving. So you need to be really experienced, and that is definitely the hardest to get into, but you can talk to agencies, you can practice at home, and there's definitely an area for people there. The second strictest would probably be fit modeling. And the reason why it's so difficult to be a runway model or a fit model is because when designers put out their clothing, they fit it to a certain size. And when they're putting it on the runway, those looks that you see down the runway, they haven't made sizes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 yet. You'll see those sizes in the stores for people, but when the designers make them, they're making them on a mannequin or on a fit model, and they don't have time to create 100,000 of them yet. They want to see what people are going to buy. So that look that you see, there might be 2 of those out there. And then if they get purchased by a store, then they'll start making the other sizes. But the designers only make them in a certain size. So they need to find girls that are, or guys that are a certain size to fit into them on the runways. So next, a fit model. A fit model is very, very difficult to become because you have to have really good measurements. You have to be proportionate. For instance, me, I could never be a fit model. I have a pretty proportionate bust, I've got a pretty proportionate waist, but when it comes to my badonkadonk area, my hips, I am definitely a much hippier girl. I may be tall, I may be generally considered slim, but it's very difficult for me. I've been turned down from a lot of runway modeling and fit modeling jobs because the proportion is not there. They kind of want a boyish figure. They kind of want something that, not necessarily, not to say that models aren't beautiful, but they want something that's going to show off the clothing. They want a clothing hanger, kind of in a sense. The designer wants to be able to use the model as an empty canvas, and they want to paint their look onto that canvas. So if they need to take a model that can look like a boy, they need to make that model look like a girl, like with beautiful hair. They need to make her look edgy and punk. They need to make her look soft and delicate like a bride. That model needs to be able to convey 100 different looks. And that's why they want such strict facial features, such strict body features, things like that that can be changed easy, because a model in that setting is a canvas. And it's to the designer's mold. So it has been difficult for me, and for other people who are very, very proportionate, even if you feel like, oh, my boobs aren't big enough, if you feel like my butt's not big enough, you might be perfect for a fit model. Also, maybe they want someone with boobs or a butt. You think, oh my god, my chest is too huge, my waist is too huge, it doesn't fit into things right. Find a designer that is looking for those curves, especially Caribbean, Brazilian, Southern American designers love their curves. So find a designer that is looking for a fit model like you. Hi, phone. Next kind of modeling is also a bit curvier, and it's swimwear or lingerie modeling. Now, lingerie modeling is kind of Victoria's Secret and kind of a little bit more risque, and when it comes to that, everyone thinks like, oh, you have to be like a runway model size 2. Not exactly. They definitely want you to have a good bust, they want you to have, a good toned body, but at the same time, a lingerie model cannot be as thin or as kind of structured as a runway model, because they need to have boobs, they need to sell those bras, you know what I mean? So if you do find yourself a little bit more endowed, if you're toned and fit but if you're comfortable, I would say go for it as a lingerie model. It's also a little bit older, so you don't see a lot of teenagers doing lingerie modeling. You usually see it with older women, people who are maybe in their 20s, usually over 18, 20s, 30s plus. There's also plus size lingerie modeling, which has a huge industry. And the lingerie modeling in general is not as big of an industry as swimwear or as print work or thing like that, but within its own industry, there is a huge space out there for plus size models as well, because they're always looking for someone with a great face and beautiful features to show women what they're going to look like in a gown. Obviously, if someone is larger, they don't want to see like someone who isn't their size wearing a piece that they're never going to be able to fit into. Someone who has a smaller frame doesn't want to look at lingerie on a larger person because they're not going to be able to fit into that. You want to see what it's going to look like on you. So they look for people of all sorts of ages and sizes. But outside of lingerie modeling, which is kind of like the next step, which is a little bit more teenage appropriate, is swimwear modeling. That's the kind of thing, you could see it in like Bankson or GQ, but Sports Illustrated, it can still be very classy. You see it a lot with Victoria's Secret, and that's more swimwear modeling. So if you've got a boob, if you've got some hips, if you've got like legs and things like that, definitely you can become a swimwear model. And also it's not as difficult because you're not on the runway, you don't have to have the same height restrictions. And even if you don't have the perfectly proportionate body, there are poses that you can do to kind of, show off your best features, and it's just about being confident and having fun. Now, the perfect modeling for someone who is shorter is car modeling. If you have a 6-foot tall person standing next to a car, that car is going to look puny. So when they are looking for car models or exotic sports car models, they want girls who are 5'4", 5'2", 5'6", or guys. And they do, and some people want bigger girls, some people want smaller girls, some people want girls with a bust, some people want girls who look edgy. Overall, you have to kind of be able to convey different looks, but if you are shorter on the shorter end, definitely look at car modeling or even petite modeling. There are a ton of girls out there, including some of you and guys too, who are shorter. And again, you don't want to see a 6-foot tall person wearing a dress because you're not going to know what it looks like on you. There is a huge industry for petite models, whether it's in clothing stores, in catalogs, whether it's runway. So if you are shorter, just look into petite modeling. And same with plus size modeling. If you are bigger, there's runway shows for you. There are catalogs for you. There is so much work for you. You just have to look at plus size modeling jobs because a lot of people who are looking at modeling are looking in the wrong industry. So the next thing we'll talk about is print work and kind of lifestyle, and that's kind of what you see in catalogs and magazines. Now when it comes to that, that is if you are repping a designer line, you want to be kind of a designer look. If you're repping a plus size line, you want plus size measurements. If you are repping a petite line, you want petite measurements. But it's just all about being proportionate within those measurements. Some are bigger, some are smaller. But they want you to fit into the clothes, whatever they are, whether they're big or small, and you basically stand in a studio all day and you show off them in a catalog, and you'll see those online. If you go to Nordstrom.com, that's where you see those photos, and those are great for catalog. And then there's also lifestyle. And what I love best about lifestyle is that it's for anyone. Think about it, the people on the Safeway commercial. It's a mom and her kids laughing and having fun. You know, the people on the Vonage phone commercials, like if you see those in a magazine, it's like an old couple, you know? If you see like HP printers, there's people having fun. People of all sizes, races, ethnicities, ages, everything. And so I tell everyone can be a model because not every single person on those advertisements is this. There's total differences, and they need eclecticity. Eclecticity? They need a huge array of people. So if you don't know what kind of modeling is right for you, hopefully this video helps, but definitely look into lifestyle modeling because they need people of all sorts of types to play different roles. Selling a certain brand of cereal, selling a computer, selling this, selling an idea or an image. The next is also hand and foot modeling. If you've got great hands or great feet, they need someone to sell those jewelry and those shoes. Whenever you see those close-ups, so if you've always been told you have great hands or great fingers or great feet or great ears or whatever it is, definitely look into becoming a hand or foot model. There's also baby modeling for young children. They need, again, eclecticity, eclecticness, I don't know. But they need models of all sorts, all shapes, all sizes. So that is just a little overview of the types of modeling that there is. There are more that I'm not going to get into detail to. Tell me if you want a model question and answer video. I said this video would be short, and it's obviously not. But yeah, definitely go for it if it's something that you're interested in. Make sure you understand and look into it so that you know what you're getting yourself into, because it is hard work. And you do have to practice a lot, but yeah, I hope that this video helped you guys. Again, check out the e.l.f. Cosmetics casting with ExploreModeling.com. Explore Modeling actually does a model boot camp. I don't know when it is, but if you're really into it and if you want to get into any of those types of modeling that I just mentioned, they do have a boot camp that'll teach you how. But upload a selfie to ExploreModeling, see if you can become the face of e.l.f. Cosmetics. That's another thing. Cosmetic modeling. They need people for the cosmetic ads. So go check that out. Just upload your selfie, and even if you don't win the Explore Modeling e.l.f. competition, there is an option to win a Caribbean beach getaway for you and your family. So if you want a beach family vacation, you really have nothing to lose, but I will link everything down to you in the bottom tab, so please go check that out. And if you have any questions, again, tweet me, let's do a model talk, tell me what you want. But I love you guys, I hope this video helped you, and I cannot wait to see you all soon. Love you guys, bye.